What's up guys, I am BlackOpsAmazing, welcome back to another zombies video, where today we are taking your questions from the comments section below and answering them. If there's anything that you want to know on the zombies storyline, anything that you're unsure of, be sure to leave your comments down below and I'll try my best to answer them in the next video. If you do enjoy this one, a like rating would be very much appreciated. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest zombies content on the channel. Thank you all very much for watching, tuning in and supporting the video, but without further ado, let's get into it. So we've got a ton of new and interesting comments to answer today, and the first one comes from Paul Fong. Paul says, who created the excavator on Moon? Love your videos, bro. So the answer to that is Group 935. We knew that Richtofen went behind Maxis's back during the 1940s. He travelled to the moon with Dr. Groff and other Group 935 scientists. They teleported vehicles, equipment, and these excavators to the moon and then used them to dig it up to excavate the moon so they could build Griffin Station. Richtofen and Group 935 used these excavators to build the moon base. As we can see, sometimes when we play Moon, the excavators malfunction and end up digging in one of the tunnels, and so we have to turn it off. But to answer your question, they were brought here by Group 935 and then used to excavate on the moon to build the base. Lorenzo Lamondel says, why does it snow in the Giant on Black Ops 3, but it doesn't snow on Black Ops 1 and World at War? Derice, please answer. Well, the reason for that is because the Giant is a fracture, whereas Derice in Black Ops 1 and World at War was part of the original timeline. The Giant is in a fracture of its own, because before this the Primus Richtofen had been zipping around the universes, using the teleporters, the Rift, and also the Primus version of Takeo, Nikolai and Dempsey had been killing other versions of Richtofen that existed in other universes, until eventually they arrived at this one. This caused the collapse of this timeline, and so the thread that holds it together, which is element 115, began to break up, causing things to be misplaced. And so this universe broke into a fracture where things are slightly different. As you can see in this case, it's slightly snowing, there is the Mob of the Dead plane on the roof, there are Dr. Monty's gobblegums, and there is a massive freaking robot being constructed in the background of the Giant. So the snow isn't the only thing that's different to the original. The next question of today from Leader of Wolf says, BOA, when Eddie says I wish the heroes in our stories were real, later on in Revelations, do they know as kids that's them as adults? Love your videos, keep up the good work. So thank you for that, but that is a good question. Now they say this at the end of the Origins Easter egg. In the Origins cutscene, the two children, Eddie and Samantha, are playing with doll versions of our zombies characters. So Richtofen, Takeo, Nikolai and Dempsey, they're also playing with the zombies from Mob of the Dead, just different characters that we've seen throughout zombies. Samantha and Eddie are playing with them, and Eddie says to Samantha, I wish the heroes in our stories were real, Sam. So clearly from that, Samantha and Eddie don't actually know that these dolls they are using to play zombies with are real people. And so it would also seem that Eddie doesn't know or didn't know that Richtofen was him. He didn't know that Richtofen was him as a grown-up adult version, because if he did, clearly he wouldn't be saying that. But you've also got to bear in mind that the children have only just arrived at the house, or they haven't really been here for too long, and then by the time we get to Revelations, they've been here for much longer and are also with the other children, Takeo, Nikolai and Dempsey. We knew that these toys were given to the children by Dr. Monty. He made them and then delivered them to the house to Samantha and Eddie to play with. So I would assume that at this time during the Origins cutscene, Samantha and Eddie knew nothing about what was going on in the other universes. They didn't know about the zombie outbreak, about Richtofen, Takeo, Nikolai and Dempsey fighting off against the undead, trying to provide them with a perfect universe. Eddie didn't know that Richtofen was him as a grown-up version. I'm assuming that these children didn't know about any of that. And then even later on in Revelations, it's still not really revealed to us if they actually know what's going on, because we don't really see much of them. I'm wondering if anyone ever told the children what was happening, or if it was kept a secret from them to protect them, to keep them safe. That's kind of what I'm thinking, but for sure I don't really know. Anyway, moving on, the next question says, is the building in the background of Nuketown Zombies broken? Arrow. Now this was something I'd never noticed before, but I thought I'd go in game and check it out to see what's going on. And a building that I'd never noticed before is in the background of Nuketown zombies. In fact, it looks more like a facility. A few industrial buildings, facilities put together in this one area, and it looks really weird. Because if you look everywhere else around Nuketown, outside of the playable area itself, there is nothing. There's the wilderness or the massive explosion. The only building is this one in the distance, this facility. Why is it here and what is it? Now, as you said, could this be Broken Arrow? Because we do know that Broken Arrow were operating near here. This massive mushroom cloud, this massive nuclear explosion that you can see happening in Nuketown is a result of Broken Arrow's drilling. We know that to uncover more element 115, Broken Arrow set up a drill near here, the one that we can see in the loading screen, and they were using it to extract more 115 from the ground. But something went wrong, the drill malfunctioned and caused a nuclear explosion just outside of Nuketown, hence why we see the massive mushroom cloud. So it's clear that Broken Arrow were operating near here, and could this facility that we see just in the distance be theirs? Could this be where they were watching the drill operate from? We don't know. I mean, there could be another story behind it, but I can't really think of any other reason why Treyarch would have put a very standout building. It looks very different to anything else we see around here, which there's not much. But there must have been a reason why Treyarch decided to put this building in the background. They could have just left it all desert. But there's a very inconspicuous building that's just there, and I honestly think this is more than likely Broken Arrows, where they were watching the drill from. We also know that on about round 4 or 5 on Nuketown Zombies, we can hear the transit bus, and we know that Russman, who worked at Broken Arrow, stole the transit bus from the Broken Arrow facility. So it's possible that Russman maybe worked in here. The transit bus was near this facility, and Russman, after losing his job, stole it, and then, as we know, eventually travelled to Hanford, Washington, which is transit. So I don't know, it's very strange. The next question from Vengeance Gaming says, BOA, how did the Morg City bus end up in a German theatre, KINO Toten? So if you didn't know, if you go out of the map in theatre mode in, well, the theatre, KINO Toten, if you explore the map, you can see the bus from Morg City, and on the side you can see it says Morg City. Now this is the exact same one that we see in Shadows of Evil, and I honestly think this is more of them just using this bus as a prop for KINO Toten. If you actually go in the playable area itself, you can only see the end of the bus. You can't see the writing where it says Morg City. So I think this is just them using the same prop over and over again. Instead of making a new one, they've just reused it. Obviously from the playable area, we're not gonna see Morg City, so it's just a normal bus. I honestly don't think it's an Easter egg, but I mean, then again, who really knows? But like I said, I don't think it's a case of the Morg City bus being an Easter egg ended up in Berlin. It's just them using the same prop over and over again. Jesus Mendez says, what made you become a YouTuber? Now and again, I like answering these personal, well, I would say more personal questions, but what made me become a YouTuber? I would say, I think it was about year 10 in school. One of my friends wanted to do YouTube, so I think they made a YouTube channel before me. They put a few videos up, I liked it, I thought, you know what, I want to get in on this, I want to do this. So I made a few videos as well, just because my friend was. I can't exactly remember what my first few videos were. I think I was covering Modern Warfare 3's multiplayer, and just doing a few gameplays. And then obviously I enjoyed it. I mean, YouTube's a hell of a lot of fun, so I kept uploading. I did Infected on Modern Warfare 3, then I moved on to do a bit of Black Ops 1 multiplayer. Or did I start off with that? I can't quite remember, but I did multiplayer first. I then moved on to zombies, so Black Ops Zombies, which is where I really started to get into the storyline, and then it went on from there. I never went back to multiplayer, but I did move on to GTA 5 for about a year, and then obviously I've come back to zombies. So that's pretty much where we are now. As for the future, well, we've got World War II Zombies in a few weeks, so we'll be ending Black Ops 3 and going on to there, and then a game I'm looking forward to next year is Red Dead Redemption 2, so depending on how that is, I might do that on the channel just like I did with GTA 5. I know, we'll see how things go. But obviously I actually did YouTube way before that as well. I had other channels just doing stupid things. I mean, literally like stupid skits. You can't see any of them on YouTube now, but I remember it was probably in about year 9, year 8. I wasn't the best kid in school, but you know, teacher brought up my videos on the projector. I was like, no, please, no, stop. I'm gonna stop there. Anyway guys, there we go. That is it for today's video. Hopefully you have all enjoyed. Thank you so much everyone who tunes into the videos, watches daily on the channel. It really does mean a lot to me. If you want to leave a like rating on the video if you haven't already, that would be very much appreciated. But of course you don't have to if you don't want to. Make sure you leave your questions, anything you want to know to do with the zombie storyline down in the comments section below, and I will try my best to answer them in the next video. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest content, and of course we'll see you all in the next one. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.